Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I'd like to bring this meeting to order, please. This is the regular Budget and Finance Committee meeting for June 9th, 2014. I'm Paul Krikorian, Chair of the committee. I'm joined by Council Members Bob Blumenfield and Paul Koretz, and we're ready to begin. Members, I'd like to, well, first of all, do we have any general public comment cards yet? Okay, so anybody who'd like to speak either on any of the agenda matters or in general public comment on matter under the jurisdiction of this committee, please fill out a card and bring it forward. Members, I'd like to first propose as possible consent items numbers 1, 6, 7, 9, 11, 12, 14, and 15. Items 1, 2, and oh, I'm sorry. No, item 6 is to be continued until June 23rd. So item 1 and item 7 are litigation matters, and I'd ask on consent the City Attorney's recommendations be concurred with. Item 9 is the CAO report regarding a contract extension for investment advisory services. Item 11 is approval of contracts relating to bond financing. Item 12 is a write-off of a delinquent account. And items 14 and 15 are our ordinary investment reports. So if there's any questions or concerns about any of those matters, we can take them up. Seeing none, those items will be deemed approved on consent. We have 2 items remaining then that thank you all for coming down for those items. We have 2 items on the regular agenda for open session, and what I'd like to do on item number 10, members, this matter's already been considered by the PAW Committee, which has prepared recommendations for council. If there's no objection, I'd be prepared to advance this to council without recommendation of this committee, and we can take up any questions or concerns people may have at the time of council, unless there's a strong sentiment to hear that matter. Now, part of the problem is that some of the key personnel involved in this from the department are engaged right now in a situation that's unfolding right now, so they're not available to us, and I'm fine. I think I was the instigator of this, and I'm fine in just advancing it to council. So without objection, that'll be the action of the committee. Item 13 is our last remaining regular agenda item. So let's go ahead and call that one before we go into closed session.
Item 13 is Office of Finance report relative to a request from the Department of Transportation for an escheatment from their Transportation Fund 840 to the City General Fund.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Saul Romo with the Office of Finance.
So normally this would have been something I would have recommended for approval on consent. The reason that I wanted to hear it is we have had a number of different kinds of escheatment recommendations before us from different departments, and it's been this committee's policy over the last few years to try to encourage as much public outreach as possible and facilitation of the public's ability to claim amounts that may be owed to them before they escheat. So I just wanted to get a sense of what the sources of these funds are and what outreach the department has made in order to ensure that they're returned to their rightful owners before we escheat.
I will have to defer to the Department of Transportation on the outreach efforts, but it's my understanding that they did make public outreach efforts on the escheatment amounts. Because as a result of those outreaches, we did have some modifications of at least $1,000 in claims toward the money, and it's my understanding that there was an additional claim of another $1,000 to this, resulting in an overall $40,000 and $400 escheatment.
Okay.
As to the source of the funds, I'll have to defer to the Department of Transportation on those as well.
Is the department here? Okay, we'll continue this matter, then we'll hold it in committee. Thank you very much.
Certainly.
All right, that brings us then to our closed session items, and we have outside counsel here on item number, Matt, which one was that? Item number 2?
Actually, that was number 6, which we continued already.
Okay. Do any of these matters involve conflict counsel? No? Okay. Then I guess we can proceed in order then. Unless the city attorney has a preference of priority of matters, we'll go ahead and proceed in order. But well, let me do this first. Is there anybody here who would like to offer a comment on items 2, 3, 4, 5, or 8? Seeing none, public comment on those items is now closed. And we're ready to proceed into closed session. We'll go in order unless I don't see any hands thrusting up to suggest otherwise, so we'll go ahead and go in numerical order. So if you're here on item number 2, please stay. Anybody else, if you could just please step out for a moment. Back in open session. Is there anyone wishing to offer general public comment? Seeing none, general public comment is closed, and we are adjourned.
Thank you.